Hello everybody, this is Kamda, the Smart Home, and my name is Ali Reza. In this tutorial, I want to introduce a simple yet powerful way to program development boards powered by ESP32 or ESP8266 chips. Using this model of development boards, there are a lot that you can do, or let's say there are a lot of IoT projects that you can create, such as monitoring and controlling temperature of your environment, humidity, level of water tank. Also, you can create thermostats and smart switches. Depending on the model of your development board, they support different digital inputs and outputs. Also, they support analog inputs and outputs. In order to program ESP32 or ESP8266 development boards without programming experiences, we use ESPHome in Home Assistant. By doing so, we can easily create IoT projects and control and monitor them remotely using Home Assistant. First of all, ESPHome must be installed in your Home Assistant. After installing ESPHome, you have to create devices for each of your development boards. While creating devices, you have to set a name for your ESP board, enter the Wi-Fi credentials of your network in order to connect your development board to your network wirelessly. After that, a YAML file will be created. Install the YAML file on your development board. Then your development board is ready to be programmed and use it. In order to program, you have to edit the created YAML file of your development board and enter the lines or codes related to your project. Then install the edited YAML file on your development board. After that, your board is ready to be used. Let's start. Before continuing the video, please click the subscribe button if you haven't done already, as it motivates me to upload more videos. Stay tuned. Before starting to install ESPHome in Home Assistant, I connect my ESP32 development board to a breadboard. In order to program our ESP development board using ESPHome add-on, first of all, we have to connect our development board to Home Assistant operating system using USB cable. I'm running my Home Assistant using Raspberry Pi, so I connect USB cable to connect my ESP32 development board to Home Assistant. In Home Assistant, navigate to Configuration on the left panel, select Add-ons, Backups, and Supervisor. At the bottom of the screen, click on Add-on Store. In Add-on Store page, at the top right corner of the screen, select Menu, 3 dots, select Repositories. Here you have to paste the URL of ESPHome Repository. If you do not have it, by navigating to Getting Started with ESPHome and Home Assistant, which you can find its link in description, and Add Repository, a new window will open. In this section, enter the URL or the IP of your Home Assistant. Then click Save. Click on Open Link. Enter username of your Home Assistant and its password. This is the URL of ESPHome Repository. You can find it in description. Click on Add. ESPHome Repository is added to Home Assistant. Close the page, the pop-up window. At the bottom of the page on Add-on Store page, you can find ESPHome. Select ESPHome add-on for intelligently managing all your ESP 8266 or ESP32 devices. Now you have to install the add-on in your home assistant. In this page, click on Install. Wait till installation completes. Installation is completed. In add-ons information page, which you can navigate it by selecting Configuration in Home Assistant panel, selecting Add-ons, Backups and Supervisor, clicking on ESPHome. Start the add-on by clicking on Start. Wait a few seconds. Then click on Open Web UI. If you face this error, you have to wait more. Again, click on Open Web UI. In this page, we have to create or add new devices. Select New Device. Continue. Set a name for your device. Lowercase letters, A to Z, numbers 0 to 9 or dash. Then select Next. Select the type of device that this configuration will be installed on. I select Pick a specific board. From the drop-down list, select my device. You can choose among different devices. Then click Next. It's time to connect ESP32 development board or your development board to Home Assistant. After connecting your development board to your Home Assistant using USB cable, click on Install. As the device is connected to Home Assistant operating system using USB cable, I select this item, plug into the computer running ESPHome dashboard. Select the port. Wait till installation completes. It may take a few minutes. Installation is completed. I click on Stop. As you see, ESP32, which we named our development board, is added to ESPHome add-on. By clicking on Edit, its YAML file opens and we can edit it. Creating the file, the ESP32 YAML file, Home Assistant didn't ask Wi-Fi credentials. It doesn't matter, as we can add it or enter to the file manually. How? Let's start from scratch. Still, our ESP development board is connected to our Home Assistant using USB cable, or let's say via USB cable. By navigating to Configuration in Home Assistant, selecting Add-ons, Backups and Supervisor, then selecting ESPHome add-on, clicking on Open Web UI. In this page, you will see the YAML file of your development boards. Our development board is online. Click on Edit. In Wi-Fi section, you have to enter credentials of your Wi-Fi networks, such as SSID and password. You can configure multiple Wi-Fi networks to connect to. The best one that is reachable will be connected to. In order to use multiple networks, remove the SSID and password options from your Wi-Fi configuration and move everything under the networks key. Under Wi-Fi, add networks, Then add SSID, password, then second SSID, then its password. That's it. Let's go back to default. In front of SSID, enter the name of your Wi-Fi network. In front of password, enter its password. Then click on install. Still, ESP32 development board is connected to Home Assistant via USB cable, so I select this item, select the port, wait till installation completes. Installing edited YAML file is done successfully. You can click on stop. Now you can disconnect your development board from Home Assistant. After disconnecting development board from Home Assistant, you see that Home Assistant shows that the development board is offline. Then I connected the board to power using a separate power supply. After a while, you see that Home Assistant is showing that the board is online. Now by clicking on edit, you can add the lines below the captive portal to program your development boards. Before ending the video, it's recommended to set, or let's say assign, a static IP address to your development board. To do so, in a Wi-Fi section below the password, you have to enter related lines. In order to assign a static IP address to your development board, paste these codes, or let's say lines. You can find them in description, and change the IPs related to your network. You can find the IP address of your development board by navigating to your router, status, DHCP client, and finding your board and its IP. After entering the lines, click on install. This time the board is connected to network and Home Assistant wirelessly, so I select wirelessly. Wait till installation completes. Setting up ESP32 or ESP8266 development board is done using ESPHome add-on in Home Assistant. From now on, you can create projects or IoT devices by editing the YAML file of your development board in Home Assistant. Then install the edited YAML file on your development board and enjoy using your project. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't done already. You can also support me by buying me a coffee. I'll see you in the next video.